You've started learning Spanish 3 times. You bought a camera, took 50 photos, then left it collecting dust. Last month, you were obsessed with digital marketing. This month, it's woodworking. And right now, you're seriously considering learning pottery. Your friends call you unfocused. Your family asks when you'll finally settle down and pick something. And late at night, you scroll through LinkedIn watching people younger than you become senior specialists in careers you tried and abandoned. Here's what nobody's telling you. You're not broken. You're not ADD. You're not lacking discipline. You're experiencing something neuroscience has only recently started to understand. And it might be the most valuable cognitive trait for the next 50 years. Let me tell you about Emily Wapnick. She's a career coach who discovered something fascinating. For years, she felt ashamed because she couldn't stick to one career. She studied filmmaking, then law, then became a writer, then a web designer, then a musician. She thought she was failing at life, until she started researching and found millions of people with the exact same pattern. She gave them a name: multi-potentialites, people with multiple potentials. But here's what's wild. Recent research from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School reveals something shocking. In a study of over 2,000 professionals, those with diverse skill sets across unrelated fields were 47% more likely to generate breakthrough innovations than deep specialists. Think about that. The thing you've been ashamed of might be your greatest competitive advantage. The reason you feel broken is because you're comparing yourself to the wrong model. You're trying to be T-shaped in an M-shaped world. Let me explain. For decades, companies worshiped the T-shaped person. Deep expertise in one area with broad general knowledge. That's what everyone said you needed to be. But research from MIT's Media Lab and Stanford's D School has identified something different. They call it the M-shaped professional, someone with multiple pillars of deep expertise connected by a wide base of curiosity. Here's why this matters. Dr. David Epstein wrote a book called Range, where he analyzed thousands of successful people across every field. His finding? Generalists consistently outperform specialists in complex, unpredictable environments. He studied everyone from Nobel Prize winners to successful CEOs. You know what he found? Most of them had what he calls a sampling period where they tried multiple things before finding their combination. Roger Federer didn't just play tennis as a kid. He tried skiing, wrestling, swimming, skateboarding, and soccer. That diverse movement vocabulary gave him flexibility that pure tennis players never developed. The creator of Pixar's hit movies, Ed Catmull. He studied physics and computer science, but also spent years learning about art, animation, and management psychology. That combination created something no pure animator or pure programmer could have built. This is called range, and neuroscience explains why it works. When you learn something in one domain, your brain creates neural pathways. When you learn something completely different, you create new pathways. But here's the magic. Your brain automatically starts finding connections between these pathways. Dr. Nancy Andreasen studied creativity in the brain for 30 years. She discovered that creative breakthroughs happen when your brain connects distant concepts. She calls these random, episodic silent thinking moments. Your scattered interests aren't random. They're giving your brain more connection points. Think about Steve Jobs. He took a calligraphy class in college, completely random. Years later, that became the foundation for Apple's revolutionary typography and design philosophy. A specialist programmer would never have made that connection. But let's be honest, there's a real problem you're facing. You can't be a doctor, lawyer, artist, and entrepreneur all at the same time. That's not range, that's chaos. This is where most multi-potentialites crash. They try to build everything simultaneously and end up building nothing. The solution? Something I call sequential depth strategy. Instead of trying to master everything at once, you master things in focused seasons. Not forever, not randomly, in seasons. Let me give you a real example. There's a woman named Ali Abdal who became a doctor, worked in medicine for years, then transitioned to YouTube, then productivity coaching, then investing education. Each season lasted 2 to 5 years. She didn't quit medicine to start YouTube. She practiced medicine while building YouTube slowly. Then when YouTube became sustainable, she shifted her primary focus. Medicine became secondary. Now she has 3 pillars of deep expertise that inform each other. That's the M shape, multiple pillars built sequentially, not simultaneously. Here's your action plan. Pick 2 things maximum for this season of your life. One that pays the bills consistently. One that feeds your curiosity intensely. That's it. Everything else goes on the future seasons list. For the next 12 to 24 months, you go deep on those 2. You don't master them. You just build one level of that pillar. Then you can choose to continue or move to the next pillar. A programmer I know spent 3 years coding, then 2 years learning video production, then 18 months studying psychology. Now he builds educational software that combines all 3. Each skill took time, but now they compound. Here's something specialists will never tell you because they don't understand it. You have a cognitive superpower called conceptual blending. Dr. Gilles Fauconnier at UC San Diego discovered that breakthrough innovations almost never come from deep expertise alone. They come from blending concepts from different domains. The person who invented Velcro? An engineer who went hiking and studied how burrs stuck to his dog's fur? He blended botany with engineering. The person who created the first computer mouse? Douglas Engelbart. He studied electrical engineering, but also philosophy and human behavior. That combination created human-computer interaction. You know what's fascinating? A study from Northwestern University analyzed 40,000 scientific papers. Papers that combined concepts from different fields received 67% more citations than papers within a single field. Your varied interests aren't distractions. They're data collection for future synthesis. And here's the final piece. In an age of AI and automation, specialists are actually becoming vulnerable. If one skill becomes automated, a specialist loses their entire value. But you have redundancy. Nassim Taleb calls this anti-fragility. Systems that have backups and alternatives don't just survive chaos, they benefit from it. Your multiple skills are anti-fragile architecture for your career. So stop apologizing for your unfinished projects. Stop feeling guilty about your curiosity. Stop comparing yourself to specialists who are playing a completely different game. You're not scattered. You're not unfocused. You're not lacking discipline. You're building the M-shaped mind. And in a world that's becoming more complex, more unpredictable, and more interconnected every single day, that's exactly what we need. Your curse is actually your competitive advantage. You just needed someone to explain the game you're actually playing. The question isn't whether you'll succeed. It's which combination of your interests will create something nobody else could possibly build. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop apologizing and start building your M-shaped future, let me know in the comments. Tell me what interests you're currently exploring. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology of building a multi-potentialite career, check out the resources in the description. Remember, you weren't meant to be just one thing. You were meant to be the bridge between worlds.